Hey, the internet, y'all got us all the way up. We met that dude, Duke the Jeweler, the night before. We was gambling. The next day, dude followed us to the concert. When we left out the concert, we under the garage. Dude went to his car by himself and walked down to the parking lot. That's when somebody tried to make...
Blood-soaked ice slid across velvet. The table buzzed with grins, laughs, and slick side eyes. But only one man didn't make it out alive. Duke the Jeweler didn't go out broke. He died laced in diamonds, surrounded by sharks and designer threads now. The spotlight's burning red on mob ties. And the feds? They're closing in. This wasn't some random street jacking. Duke wasn't caught slipping. He was set up and taken out, methodically. And it wasn't some masked crew in a dark alley. This was way closer to home.
He's the one that's tied to the dude that makes the loaded dice. Right? Check the play out. All entertainers, when you go to Houston, stay away from J. Prince Jr. The whole play going on. Here go the play right here. The play is a loaded dice.
He got hit after a high-stakes dice game, a so-called friendly night that turned deadly. At first it was all love, dap-ups, laughs, drinks. But then came the strange looks, the subtle hand gestures. Fast forward and now those same faces are under a federal microscope. And 50 Cent? He's tossing gasoline on the fire, reposting cryptic clips, and throwing shade. He knows it wasn't random. He's hinting at a deeper plan, a calculated takedown. And here's where it turns cinematic. Just 2 weeks before Takeoff got caught in his own dice game setup, Duke had shut down a table at J. Prince Jr.'s event. And when the wrong man starts stacking too many chips, egos explode, and bullets follow now. The mob ties circle, Boosie, J. Prince Jr., Lil Cam, they're all under fire.
Man,
What started as whispers is now war drums. But how did we land in this mess? Let's rewind. What looked like a casual dice game was probably a trap from the start. From the outside, Duke was the man, a Chicago success story who turned hustle into high-end ice. But this wasn't a jewelry trip, it was a deadly setup in disguise. He didn't come to Houston to chill, he came to close deals. Word is, Boosie called Duke down for a custom piece. So Duke rolled in heavy Louis duffel packed with his coldest designs. Well, he didn't realize that invitation might have been bait.
What's the hard time but never gave up? I stayed tough, even when I got my chain stuck. Go through hard time, but we know that what made us. Can't blame us, we love the script, cause that what paid us. Yeah, ain't gonna ask, I know them niggas laid off. I call King like it, passion going where I'm up. I can't even find, you know how many nights I've stayed up. Know how many
Now, let's zoom in on the table. Because this wasn't your average dice game. According to leaked audio from WAC 100, this whole setup was part of a rigged system. A dice ring, allegedly run by J. Prince Jr., and it's always the same three. Dudes rotating the dice. Lil Cam, Big Capri, and Wolf. These three control the flow like a ritual, and the dice. They're not random, they roll how they want. The house always wins, unless someone messes up the script. And that night, someone did. WAC says Duke got past the wrong dice, loaded ones, and once he started hitting, hundreds turned into thousands, then stacks on stacks. The table lost control. Behind the scenes, insiders say J. Prince Jr. takes a 30% cut from every dice pot, so when Duke started winning, it wasn't just money lost, it was boss money. And Duke wasn't subtle. He was shining, flexing, throwing cash, and filming it for the gram. That's when things turned. If you pause the footage just right, you catch it. Boosie lets out a small whistle, not loud, just enough. His nephew snaps his head. Then, a red hoodie guy taps him like a silent signal. In seconds, the mood changes. 1 minute Duke's vibing, the next, ice in the air. Something was coming.
we walk into his car or something, and some dude tried to rob him. Some dudes tried to rob him. See some dudes that tried to rob me and walked off by himself, bro. I had just met dude yesterday. They try to rob dude, man. Dude must ain't get up.
Spoke for flight check. Productive departure. Flight attendants. Please bear the captain.
Just met dude.
It was like a silent countdown started ticking. Minutes later, Duke was gone. This wasn't paranoia, it was raw tension you could feel in the room. The way people looked, moved, stayed quiet. You can always tell when the air shifts, especially when the people around you already made up their minds. And if you're still thinking this was just some dice game gone bad, ask yourself, why would Boosie, a millionaire, bring a man wearing over $1 million in jewelry into a room full of strangers and not post any security? Why didn't J. Prince Jr. ensure safety for a high-profile guest flashing that much ice? And then it gets worse. When Duke left, he wasn't flanked by security or even a team. No driver, no protection, just Duke walking alone through a dim Houston parking lot. After hours in a room filled with tension, cash, and seven-figure jewelry, he left completely exposed. That's not just careless, it's suspicious. Then the gunshots. Duke gets ambushed, fatally shot. But here's the part no one can explain. In any real robbery, the first thing snatched is the ice. But Duke still had every chain, every ring, the exact same $1 million drip he was wearing at Boosie's show. So what kind of robbery leaves the goods untouched? The kind that was never about robbery at all. And now comes the mic drop. That Louis Vuitton duffel, the one packed with unreleased high-end custom pieces. It didn't vanish. It reappeared inside Boosie's house. Ye let that land. Confirmed by Houston PD.
We was in a garage. He must have walked outside to the parking lot. We was in the garage. We heard the but it like they was far away in the parking lot. He must have went to his car or something. Dude was finna make a piece of him too. Hey.
Now whether Duke gave that bag to Boosie for safekeeping, or Boosie snatched it afterward, no one knows for sure. But one thing's locked in, the bag made it back. Duke didn't. And how did Boosie explain that? He jumped on IG Live, shaky camera, sitting on a plane, looking rattled, claiming he barely knew Duke, and that Duke just walked off. Really? A man designing your custom chain flown in by you just disappears and you barely knew him. You let him flash 6 figures in jewelry in a room full of wolves and let him walk off alone. None of that adds up. And Boosie didn't exactly look calm. His face said it all, drained, nervous, cornered, and it gets worse. The feds already circling Boosie for unrelated cases made a sharp move. They pulled Duke's case into a separate federal investigation. That means no delays, no loopholes, just a straight path to the truth. Then came surveillance. They tracked Duke's phone. Last ping, Boosie's recording studio. Unless Duke's phone grew legs, someone from Boosie's circle brought it there. No wipe, no damage, just silence. Like someone held the power button and ended it. That's when the feds turned the heat all the way up. They ran a forensic sweep of Duke's rental car. And boom, fingerprints. Boosie's nephew and Boosie's cousin both left behind.
Tanner invites him in. Act like he's covering for him, hanging out, everything is cool. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go here, let's go there. He introduces the dice game. He got 3 right, who rotate the dice. Now these dice is loaded. Tell me it's a Wolf, Big Caprice, and watch this, and Little Cam are the loaded dice rotators, right? He said what? There was a situation that occurred that a certain jeweler round and got past the dice on accident and was hitting on them for a couple hundred. They got irritated about that. I ain't gonna go too far into that story because, right, boom. The only way they could get their money back was I have money back. He said, but Lil Cam, Wolf, and Big Caprice are the 3 designated to say I'm up, I got the next, and they pass the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shooting.
Then came the eyewitness. Someone outside, just smoking, told investigators they saw Duke walking toward his car.com. Unaware, when Boosie's nephew stepped out the shadows, like he was waiting on a signal, the witness says Duke felt something was wrong. He allegedly swung first, tried to fight but didn't stand a chance. Quick move. One shot. Boosie's nephew allegedly pulled the trigger. No fake robbery. No staged struggle. No missing chains. Because this wasn't about taking, it was about shutting him up. And the wildest part, they kept the Louis bag. Didn't even toss it. That's not just careless, that's bold. Like they thought no one would ever ask questions. But people did. 50 Cent started piecing it together. See? Every time an artist lands in Houston, there's this unspoken rule. Check in, no flyer, no billboard, but everybody in the industry knows it. Artists, influencers, even athletes. They all hear it. If you don't check in with J. Prince Jr. and Mob Ties, you're walking into enemy territory. But what happens when the people you're supposed to check in with, are the ones setting you up? Let's make something clear. J. Prince Jr. hosted that dice game. Same setup where Takeoff got killed. Now Duke ends up dead too. So tell me, if J. Prince Jr. really runs Houston like he says, why is it 2 guests walked in, and neither one walked out? Even Whack 100 couldn't stay quiet. He called the whole thing a scam ring. Said J. Prince Jr., lures celebrities and plays friendly, makes them feel safe, then leads them to a rigged table where his crew is already posted, watching, waiting. And now, the street's talking. Artists backing out of Houston trips. Labels canceling shows, events drying up, the city's turning radioactive, and 50 he's not letting up. He's reposting videos, dropping captions, throwing heat directly at Mob Ties. Some say he's pushing it too far. Others say he's the only one brave enough to speak out.
Jeweler. I gotta do my research, see what Jeweler might have been down there shooting dice. But nevertheless, to all the entertainers, you know, Dukes of Hazzard was one of my favorite shows, right? I don't know if y'all watched that. I was thinking about Daisy Dukes for a reason. I don't know why I said that. You know, one might go with it, may not go with it, but I don't know. The math is math and let it math. But entertainers, beware of with J. Prince Jr. when he talked about let's go shoot some dice. Because the loaded dice crew of 3 Cam Wolf, Big Caprice. We know Lil Cam in there because I believe somehow, some way, he was caught up in the dice situation. Rest in peace, Takeoff. I don't know what's going on. But what I do know this, J. Prince Jr. got a whole thing that when y'all come into town, hold on, bro. Didn't they say 5th Ward earlier that day shooting dice?
Yep, that's a fact. That word been out, Whack. That word been out. We been had that memo.
And then, so I've been getting hit all day, and it got to the point at the thing, Quavo like getting into dice. That's what this nigga J. Prince Jr., boy, these niggas got all kind of shit going on down there. They say, he said the jeweler nigga got past the dice. He didn't even know the motherfuckers was loaded. He just think he hitting. These niggas is mad as a motherfucker. Cause they like, nigga, how you pass this nigga the loaded dice on up?
He's sweating bad. Sources say the feds are turning up the heat, and they're not rolling Duke's case into the old gun charges. Nope, they've split it off and are going full throttle. They're ripping into Boosie's homes, his bank, accounts, even tracking his son's digital footprint. But get this, the real danger might be coming from inside his own circle, allegedly. Boosie's own girlfriend slipped up and told someone he ran back into the house that night, frantic, like he was hiding something. And still, Boosie's out here playing dumb, pretending he barely knew Duke. But now people are whispering, if Boosie goes down, who else gets dragged with him? Because Boosie never moves solo. His nephew, caught up, his cousin involved. And his name is all over ties with J. Prince Jr., who's already under a microscope after Takeoff's murder. Now the dots are connecting, and they all lead back to that dice table. The one night, one setup, one move, and everything spiraled. Even Finesse to times once a loyal Mob Ties soldier is switching up. He used to shout out J. Prince Jr. in every interview. Now silence. No shows, no backstage hangs. At first folks thought he ghosted, but then rumors hit. It started over a woman, and not just any woman, his baby mama. Word is, she and her mom set Finesse up, called the cops, got him, locked for a probation violation, but guess who bailed him out? J. Prince Sr., quiet calls, big favors. Within 2 weeks Finesse was out. But instead of showing gratitude, he went right back to the woman who allegedly set him up. That's when J. Prince Sr. had enough. He hit Twitter, raw and unfiltered. I told the homie to stay the F*** away from that woman if he loves his life. But Finesse didn't listen. And right after that, boom, rumors explode that J. Prince Jr. got that same girl pregnant behind Finesse's back. Is it confirmed? Nah. But the silence from Finesse, loud, and now it's all unraveling. Jr. beefing with Takeoff's people, quiet tension with Boosie, and Finesse spiraling. Fans are starting to ask, how many bridges can you burn before the whole kingdom collapses? Here's the truth. When your empire's built on fear, flexing, and silence, it only takes one crack, one artist, one friend, one turncoat, and everything falls. And the silence. It ain't holding like it used to. The streets are watching. Close. Will Boosie flip? Will Finesse finally talk? Or will 50 Cent, who's been relentless in exposing mob ties, force J. Prince Jr. to make a desperate move, break the code and save himself? Because this collapse, it's already begun. And those whispers, they're turning into explosions. The feds aren't just investigating Boosie, they're tracking his Baton Rouge mansion, his Georgia land. Every dollar, every contract, every name, and this ain't rap beef. It's giving Rykowen the temperature's rising fast. Word is ... there's footage. Maybe even video of Duke's final moments. And if that ever drops, TMZ gets it, or it shows up in federal court, it's game over. Checkmate. So if you're tapped into the real story behind the shine, smash that like, drop a comment, and make sure to subscribe. We're just getting started.